It's been some weeks since the most recent Stranger Than Heaven trailer has came out. I'm still fiending for yet just another tiny morsel of more Stranger Than Heaven content. There's no need to worry, I have seen the special look trailer. So for now, all I can do with this pent up sexual frustration, well, clearly talk about it some more. But I want to talk about it some more in the context as a long-time Yakuza fan, and as far as my expectations of what Stranger Than Heaven lies in store for us, and what those expectations and predictions that I can see coming into fruition, or at least what I hope will come into fruition within Stranger Than Heaven once it actually releases. My first expectation for Stranger Than Heaven is that I really think that this game is going to have a much more serious tone than most people expect from a Yakuza game. Now granted, the thing with the Yakuza games is that the main story for them have always been pretty serious. However, the memes that have come across, the internet and whatnot, where people have kind of gotten this image that Yakuza is this wacky, silly little game with a bunch of gangsters in it. Over time, the side quests have gotten wackier and pretty silly, just so that the side quests can serve as a sort of break from how grim and dark and bloody the main story can be. I think because this particular game doesn't have like the Yakuza or backslash like a dragon moniker attached to it, and it's standing on its own as Stranger Than Heaven, I think that's what's allowing for more people to kind of see this as being different from Yakuza. If you ask me, it's been feeling like with the previous games that RGG Studio has been making lately, that they kind of want to return to a more grounded story that has like themes and topics that really touch upon Japanese society and maybe like certain stigmas in accordance with Japanese society. This shows more in the spin-off series of Yakuza, which is called the Judgment series. Lost Judgment is still the best written RGG Studio game to this day. Lost Judgment was when I realized like, oh, there's something different about this one. Like that game right there is the pinnacle of, if you ever wanted to see elements of a Japanese drama put within a game. The story was not only serious with like themes of bullying and showcasing how bullying can take multiple forms, and it can start as young as school bullying, which is also a very serious subject, but then also how bullying takes place in the highest of professions, such as with government officials, in the forms of abusing your powers, greed, blackmailing. And with Stranger Than Heaven, it's clear that the main theme of this game is going to be Mokoto being biracial, with being half Japanese, half white American, and how his multi-ethnical background is pretty much outcasting him within Japanese society in and of itself. This guy is a walking challenge against the Japanese ideology and the status quo of being pure-blooded, and how this particular ideology clashes with Makoto's existence alone. Let's be real, from what we've seen and what we know of Makoto doesn't give a shit about all of this pure-blooded mixed blood bullshit. Like, we're playing as a guy that wants to find acceptance. We're playing as a kid looking for a place to call home, craft another family in a world where his family no longer exists. So I can't wait to see how the writing really tackles that particular theme and story of just being a biracial kid trying to find a place where I belong. First of these expectations I want to talk about is the mini games. Now, the main highlight we know of Makoto so far is that he's going to be this showman who can go around recruiting musicians and singers. I'm not gonna lie, I can only anticipate that this showman club manager minigame is gonna be as epic as the cabaret club owning minigame that's been in Yakuza, I believe, like maybe twice. But I do hope that there will be other minigames in addition to this one. We did see briefly that there's like some kind of card game, so we do know that there's at least 2 minigames in this game so far. I do feel like a board game of some sort is gonna return. It's either gonna be shogi or mahjong. Regardless, I'm definitely gonna have to look up a guide. But as far as like a new mini game that hasn't been done before in an RGG Studio game, I stay with me. Stay with me. I hope that they give us a sumo wrestling mini game. Like either you get to wrestle against other sumo wrestlers or you can manage sumo wrestlers and they fight for you. My third expectation for this game is I want to see this soundtrack. My body is ready to bend like a nematode, seeing just how much of a banger this soundtrack is going to be. It's so criminal how severely underrated RGG Studio music is. Stranger Than Heaven placing such a huge emphasis on jazz. Oh, my body is ready. I'm telling y'all, I will rip my clothes off and start pelvic thrusting like Mr. Libido. We are both in sync, and I can only hope that Stranger Than Heaven, just to accompany with the whole theme of jazz being such a prominent presence, I can only imagine that the soundtrack is going to be just as jazzy and just as snazzy as the theme song they have given us, which I need on Spotify. Sega, hurry up and give us the theme song. Where is the album? We want the damn album. And if Stranger Than Heaven provides us with a jazzy rendition or a remix of Receive You, I got something else that RGG Studio can receive. Last but definitely not least, when it comes to my expectations for Stranger Than Heaven, is not only a very robust and thought out cast of characters, but I'm also expecting for impactful character deaths. Dying in a Yakuza game is nothing new. Like, people die in Yakuza games at the speed of 90 miles per hour. I've noticed with the amount of retconning RGG Studio has been doing with the Kiwami series, and as well as some interesting deaths that took place in Infinite Wealth that just didn't leave a particular impact on me. I know for sure that character deaths in Stranger Than Heaven are gonna happen, but I am expecting for the character deaths in Stranger Than Heaven to be very, very impactful, especially when this story is all about Makoto and him finding friends or befriending people, you know, creating bonds, you know, eventually, from what it seems like, joining whoever is the established Yakuza organization as he's working his way up the ladder or working for this particular organization. It's to be expected there's gonna be betrayal, which means just around the corner of betrayal, there's gonna be some deaths, there's gonna be some stabbing. I'd say more so, I am really anticipating how does Makoto get to that point? Who are these characters that are set in stone that he meets? Who they are to him, how important they are to him. I can't wait to see like the bond they make with him before they get snatched by some dickhead who's gonna be the villain or antagonist for the moment. Especially with the way that they've been emphasizing that this story is all about documenting Makoto and his friend Yu, their 50-year friendship, and we've even seen in the special look video how Yu is pretty much kind of like in partnership with Makoto, with Yu looking like the brains between the two and Makoto being the bronze. The both of them are heavily giving me Kiryu and Nishiki vibes, and if you know, you know. I'm gonna keep it real. This guy has the stench of Nishiki surrounding him. If he doesn't betray Makoto, at best or at worst, whichever one fits better, I can see you easily getting taken out. Listen, I know RGG Studio. There is no such thing as blossoming friendships in this series. I don't see this guy surviving at all. Or at the very least, I can see him dying at the very end. But what I am dying to see is you clicking the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribing if you are not subscribed yet. Those are what I am hoping that Stranger Than Heaven will provide for us. If they don't come to fruition, it's okay. In the words of Rebecca Black, we so excited. Till the next video, stay safe, stay healthy. I hope you find a place where you belong.